Okay, first and foremost, I'd like to begin by giving all praises, all glory, all honor unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, Kodash, giving double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. To the men standing by the highways and the byways, pushing this doctrine, I say Shalom. Even to the Akwat out there sitting and listening in silence, I say Shalom. Shalom to the 144,000 out there listening. Okay, there's your brothers. There's just some three brothers here who want to come and bring some edification on one of the high holy days, being the Shabbath. There's brother Hananiah, there's brother Isaiah, and there's brother Maya Shala. Okay, so we wanted to start this video, begin this video in the book of Sirach, chapter 33 and verse 7. Why doth one day excel another, when as all the light of every day in the year is of the sun? By the knowledge of the Lord Yahweh they were distinguished, and he altered seasons and feasts. Some of them hath he made high days, and hallowed them, and some of them hath he made ordinary days. So we're seeing here that it has some days that just normal days, really whatever. It has some days to the Lord that mean more than others. And the Shabbath day is one of those days. And to start explaining the Shabbath day, we're going to go into Genesis chapter 1 and starting at verse 3. Genesis chapter 1 and verse 3. And Power said, let there be light, and there was light. And Power saw the light, and that it was good. And Power divided the light from the darkness. And Power called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. Now, I wanna explain a couple of things about this now really. First thing first, that God you see there, that is actually Al-Hayam with Yahushai. They make the world, right? First thing they do when they was making the world, they said, let there be light. Then there was light. Al-Hayam see the light was good. So he saw the light and that it was good. And then they divided the light from the darkness. When they made the light, it still had darkness, and then they divided it. They called the light the day, and the darkness they called night. And the evening and the morning with the first day were Pentecostal or fucking Roman Catholic or them Jehovah's Witness and them or them Seventh-day Adventists go together. It's the day to start in the fucking morning.
Yeah, when the sun up.
It's complete and utter horseshit. And just to compound this, you roll along, you scroll on a bit further, verse 8. And the Al-Hayam called the firmament heaven, and the evening and the morning, the second day, this is the second time, they scroll along some more. And the earth brought forth, hold on to that, sorry, verse 13, and the evening and the morning were the third day. It says the third time now. And the evening, chapter 1 and verse 19, and the evening and the morning were the fourth day. It says for the fourth time now, and so on and so forth. Let's compound in the fact that the day does start in the evening. Alright, keep going.
Now we'd like to go to our next point. This is Genesis chapter 1 and starting at verse 14. And Power said, let there be lights in the firmament of the heaven, to divide the day from the night, and let them be for signs, and for seasons, and for days and years. And let them be for lights in the firmament of the heaven, to give light upon the earth. And it was so. Right. This establishing that what? He create lights in the midst of in the firmament of the heavens. Right. This was to separate the day from the night.
Go on to verse 16 to prove that. And the Al-Hayam made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night. He made the stars also.
Right, and that point here confirming what? As we know it today as what? The sun and the moon. And we continue here. And power set them in the firmament of the heaven to give light upon the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to divide the light from the darkness. And power saw that it was good.
And the evening and the morning were the fourth day, compounding the fact that a day starts in the evening. And now we're going to go to Genesis chapter 2, the first verse. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made.
So, okay, before we continue, I just want to correct the brother real quickly. And on the seventh day, Alahayim ended their work which they had made, and they rested on the seventh day from all their work which they had made.
Tawada.
Okay.
And the Alahayim blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it they had rested from all their work which the Alahayim created and made. I'm going to go into that word. Sorry. Right, we're going to go into that word sanctified. The pronunciation of the word sanctified, karash, you know that means holy. To consecrate, the definition here, to consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate, be hallowed, be holy, be separate, to be set apart, be consecrated. So when the Alahayim finished creating the world, right, and everything in it, on the seventh day when they rested, they separated, sanctified, and hallowed that day from every other day. So we know so far it's looking like that seventh day that means something, right? So now we're gonna go for the next point into 1 Samuel chapter 20.
On verse 5.
Yeah, verse 5.
Come.
And the water said unto Jonathan, Behold, tomorrow is the new moon, and I should not fail to sit with the king at meat. But let me go, that I may hide myself in the field unto the third day at even. First and foremost, I want to go into that word moon. When I go into that word moon, it's showing what? The new moon, month, monthly. A, the first day of the month. And B, it also says the lunar month. Which indicates that what? The first day of the month according to what? The lunar cycle, which is the moon cycle.
First day of the month is new moon, right?
Indicating what? Going off the cycle of the moon, not the cycle of the sun. Back to what we were talking about. And we jump down now to the same chapter, 1 Samuel chapter 20.
So like, yeah, before we jump down to that, I also want to add this point real quick. Behold, tomorrow is a new moon. I shall not fail to sit with the king. So I sit with the king here at meat. Remember what I mean? Go to Psalms chapter 81 and the third verse. We'll read from the third verse. Blow up the trumpet in the new moon in the time appointed on our solemn feast day. That is why he was going to sit down with the king to have the solemn feast day. I'm continuing.
Now we go to 1 Samuel chapter 20. We jump down to verse 18. Then Jonathan said to the water, tomorrow.
22 or 20?
1 Samuel 20 and 18.
I thought it said 22. Sorry.
Then Jonathan said to the water, tomorrow is the new moon, and thou shalt be missed, because thy seat will be empty. Now, to give a little bit of context as to what's going on here, if you read the book of Samuel,
1
Samuel, what taking place here was that the water, or I would say David, was plotting with his friend there, Jonathan, who is King Saul's son. He was plotting with his boy here, Jonathan, to make a plan to show Jonathan that King Saul wanted to kill the water. If you read earlier in the story, you will see that. But Jonathan didn't believe it. So he making a plan now to show Jonathan and prove that, hey, oh, your father trying to kill me. So when it say
Tomorrow is new moon.
tomorrow is a new moon and thou shalt be missed, is because Jonathan knew that he didn't believe that his father was trying to kill the water. So he thought he would have been greatly missed off of sorrow. But now let me go down to 1 Samuel chapter 20 and 24. So the water hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, the king sat him down to eat meat. And the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon a seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Abner sat by Saul's side, and the water's place was empty. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean. Surely he is not clean. And it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month, that the water's place was empty. And Saul said unto Jonathan his son, wherefore cometh not the son of Jesse to meet, neither yesterday nor today? So, this here proving what? That the first day of the month is the new moon. As it says here, he say, and it came to pass on the morrow, which was the second day of the month. The first day of the month was the new moon, which was, as the brother pointed out in Psalm 81 and verse 3, that is the solemn feast day, the appointed solemn feast day to bring in or celebrate the first day of the month.
I was just proven here that after he missed the feast day, because he wanted to hide from Saul, Saul literally come. The second day, no one say. First day was yesterday, it was new moon day. It's the second day of the month, so he wasn't here yesterday, and he not here today.
Right.
So that just proven the point. The new moon, the day of the new moon, is actually the first day of the month. And if you remember how we explained earlier when we started the video, one of the first points we bring out was the day does start in the evening, but when the evening coming, that is when the moon does be rising. So that proving it more that the day starting in the evening. Now, one thing the next point we want to explain, and there's the phases of the moon. To start this, we want to go into the book of Sirach, chapter 43, and go start at verse 6, right?
Sirach, chapter 43, verse 6.
Alright, then the book of Sirach, chapter 43 and the 6th verse. He made the moon also to serve in her season for a declaration of times and a sign of the world. From the moon is the sign of feasts, a light that decreaseth in her perfection. The moon is called after her name, increasing wonderfully in her changing, being an instrument of the armies above, shining in the firmament of the heaven. So we read this precept to explain what the second point. The moon does go through phases, let me say. That the new moon, and then that other phases of the moon before it become the new moon again, before the new month start again. To prove this, we're gonna go this now. Right. The 8 phases of the moon being explained, right? Alright. The moon have 8 phases. The moon is a light that does decrease and increase in perfection, as we just explained it, right? First, you're seeing here that it have the new moon, then it go waxing crescent. When you look up the word waxing and you define it, you know waxing means to increase. So it increasing it in her perfection, right? So it had the first stage after the new moon is the waxing crescent. Then you had the first quarter. Then you had the waxing gibbous. So the moon, all this here coming now, the moon increasing in her light. And then you had the full moon. Now if you observe this diagram, any diagram explaining these phases of the moon, you can always see that the new moon and the full moon directly let me say adjacent
to each other.
Yeah. So what I'm showing you, when you reach the full moon, you know you're halfway through the month. So 2 weeks, they are about 14 days or so passing the month already. And then after that phase, is go back to where it decreasing in her perfection, where it had the waning stages. Waning means a decrease, right? So then after the full moon, where you're halfway through the month, you start to go back to being dark. It had the waning gibbous, the third quarter, it had the waning crescent, then the new moon again, where is the new month. So yeah, the phases of the moon explained. So now, what we know so far, we know a day that starts in the evening. We know the I wanna say the signs what does usher in the beginning of the evening, which is the moon. We know what does start the new moon does start the month, and we know the 7th day of every week is a day where the Lord separate and sanctify from all other days. Now we're gonna get into the importance of that, and we can start in Exodus chapter 20, and we starting at verse 8.
Is Exodus chapter 20, reading from verse 8. Remember the Shabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shall thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Shabbath of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, made the heavens and the earth, and the sea, and all that is in them. And all in them is, and rested the 7th. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
So we see in here the importance of that day again.
So like before we continue, I have a point to bring up real quick. Genesis, reading from I have a point to bring up here real quick. What you will say at the beginning, we say the Alahayim make it with Yahushai. So are we talking about Yahweh here? Reading from verse 4 in Genesis, and there's a quick point here. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, made the earth and the heavens. The reason we'll say Yahweh make it, even though it's Yahweh, Yahushai is who make it, is because we always give the glory back to Yahweh. Everything you do, you always give glory back to Yahweh. When you read Exodus as well, you come to realize Moses didn't end up seeing the promised land given to the fathers, because when he had smote the stone, he didn't give the glory back to Yahweh. He take the credit for himself. So that is a quick point there.
Okay.
Back to Exodus 20 now, and verse 10 or 11.
Verse 8.
Verse 8.
Right, so we now explain, right, the importance of that 7th day, how that day is the Shabbath day. And we want to go into that word Shabbath. And when
Exodus.
you go into the word Shabbath and you go to the Strongs, the definition one, to cease, desist, rest. So right, so it's to cease, to desist, and to rest. So when we say the Shabbat day, we mean this day is a day of rest. It's a rest day dedicated to the Lord. Now, that point we cover. Our next point we want to cover on the topic of the Shabbat is how we bring up the new moon, right? The new moon and the Shabbat day is like the same thing. It's high holy days and they're likened to one another. Meaning, like if the days are rest day until it's the Shabbat, the new moon is treated the same exact way. And to prove this,
We go to Isaiah chapter 66 and verse 23. And it shall come to pass that from one
Country.
and it shall come to pass that from one new moon to another, and from one Shabbat to another, all flesh shall come to worship before me, said Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And at that point you like to pull to back up that, we go to Amos chapter 8 and verse 5. Saying, when will the new moon be gone, that we may sell corn, and the Shabbat, that we may set forth wheat, making the ephah small, the shekel great, and falsifying the balances by deceit. Now,
them also we'd like to bring up the point in Colossians chapter 2 and verse 16.
Chapter 2 and verse 16.
16.
Let no man therefore judge you in meat or in drink, or in respect of an holy day, or of the new moon, or of the Shabbat days.
So what we see in here with these points we're bringing up is the same way as we explained before how you're treating the Shabbat day. You're seeing here that they're treating the new moon days the exact same, meaning they're telling you to do the same things that we're doing on the new moon that you're doing on the Shabbat, because all of them days is high holy days. Now that we explained that, we'd like to go to this point here, how to keep the Shabbat. And to start that, we're going to go to Ezekiel chapter 46 and the first verse. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shai, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut in the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be.
Ezekiel verse chapter 46, what?
And the first verse.
Hold on. Ezekiel chapter 46, first verse. And I'm gonna pull it from the my sort. I don't know what's going on there with the KJV. Ezekiel 46, verse 1. Can. Keep reading.
God. Okay, I will start over. Thus said the Lord Yahweh Shai, the gate of the inner court that looketh toward the east shall be shut in the 6 working days, but on the Sabbath it shall be open. On the day of the new moon it shall be open. And the prince shall enter by the way of the porch of that gate without, and shall stand by the posts of the gate. And the priests shall prepare his burnt offering and his peace offerings, and he shall worship at the threshold of the gate. Then shall go forth, but the gate shall not be shut until the evening. Likewise, the people of the land shall worship at the door of this gate before the Lord Yahweh in the Shabbath days and in the new moon. So we see that this day, the Shabbath day, these new moon days, these days is days dedicated to worship of the Lord, right? You want to go to prove this further? You can go to Exodus chapter 31 and we'll go verse 12 and start from there. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak thou also unto the children of Israel, saying, Verily my Sabbaths ye shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord Yahweh Basham Yahushai, that doth sanctify you. Ye shall keep my Sabbath therefore, for it is holy unto you. Everyone that defileth it shall surely be put to death. For whosoever doeth any work therein, that soul shall be cut off from among his people. 6 days may work be done, but in the seventh is the Sabbath of rest, holy to the Lord Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Whosoever doeth any work in the Sabbath day, he shall surely be put to death. Wherefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations for a perpetual covenant. So we know this is everlasting. This is something we're supposed to do from since quite the beginning of time, and we get these commandments and these covenants up till now. The Shabbat days are there, not no work can be done in these days. And we're gonna go for the last point is in Isaiah 58 and verses 13 and 14. If thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord Yahweh Shai honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thy own ways, nor finding thine own pleasures, nor speaking thine own words, then shalt thou delight thyself in the Lord, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of the Lord Yahweh hath spoken it. And we're going to get us in the NLT as well. And it says in the NLT, keep the Sabbath day holy. Don't pursue your own interests on that day, but enjoy the Sabbath and speak of it with delight as the Lord's holy day. Honor the Sabbath in everything you do on that day, and don't follow your own desires or talk idly. Then the Lord Yahweh will be your delight. I will give you great honor and satisfy you with the inheritance I promised to your ancestor Jacob. I, the Lord Yahweh, have spoken it. So we see that this day is also a day not only you're not allowed to work, but you're also not allowed to do anything pleasurable as well. This includes sex, sports,
playing football,
TV, video games, anything you find in pleasure in, you can't be done on the Sabbath day. You're supposed to rest, no work, no pleasure. And to end it off, we're gonna go in Matthew and chapter 12.
Our next point here, I just want to talk about the Shabbat. In Matthew chapter 12, I go to verse 1. At that, because most people go watch this and be like, well, what we can and can't do on the day. That approach is with common sense here, and the way I was telling the Pharisees and the Sadducees. In Matthew chapter 12 and verse 1. And at that time, Yahushua went on the Shabbat day through the corn, and the disciples were hungry and began to pluck the ears of corn and to eat. But when the Pharisees saw it, they said unto him, Behold, thy disciples do that which is not lawful to do upon the Shabbath. But he said unto them, Have ye not read what the water did when he was hungry, and they that were with him? How he entered into the house of Yahweh, and did eat the shewbread, which was not lawful for him to eat, neither for them which were with him, but only for the priests. Or have ye not read the law, how that on the Shabbath days the priests in the temples profane the Shabbath and are blameless? But I say unto you that in this place one is greater than the temple. If you had known what this meaneth, I will have mercy and not sacrifice, he would not have condemned the guiltless. For the Son of Man is Lord even on the Shabbath days. And when he was departed thence, he went into their synagogues. And behold, there was a man which had his hand withered. And they asked him, saying, Is it lawful to heal on the Shabbath days? That they might accuse him. And he said unto them, What man shall there be among you that shall have one sheep, and if it fall into a pit on the Shabbath days, will he not lay hold on it and lift it out? How much then is a man better than a sheep? Wherefore it is lawful to do well on the Shabbath days. Then said he to the man, Stretch forth thine hand, and he stretched it forth, and it was restored whole like as the other. So Yahushai use here to show them that they approach the Shabbath days with common sense, and one you have to do, so that is the first point, and the second point is they have to do good on the Shabbath days. If you see a man need help on the Shabbath days, it is lawful for you to help him. So approach it with common sense now.
Right, and with that, we'd like to give all glory, all honor,
all praise to Yahweh.
Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Kakadash, giving double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. To the men standing by the highways and byways pushing this doctrine, I say shalom. Even to the aquat out there sitting and listening in silence, I say shalom. Shalom.